Yusuf Estes, and I'm looking for something. Actually, I'm looking for someone. Is that someone you? I want Dawah partners, and you can be my Dawah partner right now. It's real easy. Just go to dawahpartners.com, sign up, and join me. There are 3 things that I would like for you to be able to do. Any one of them or all of them. Beautiful. Number 1, you will make dua. So you can be our Dawah partner, even if you don't go to the website, but I hope you do. Number 2, share. Share this message and let other people know about becoming Dawah partners. And number 3, help us financially. Donate on a monthly basis, even if it's small. Allah loves the thing that you do regularly, even if it's small, more than the thing that you do that's really big, but you only do it once. Join me as a Dawah partner. Do it now. Click, 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 click.
A way of life, a way of life, a way of life, a way of life. Islam is a way of life, a complete way.
This is Yusuf Estes, and I'm looking for something. Actually, I'm looking for someone. Is that someone you? I want... Hey, we interrupt this important message to give you a more important message. We're coming to you almost live from our studios right here in Southern California. That's right. And we're having a good time with it. We've got some doctors with us tonight. I heard somebody else say alhamdulillah, so that must be Dr. Ana. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dr. Sultan is here as well.
Okay. I see he's buttoning up his shirt. Okay. Assalamu alaikum. How are you, Dr. Sultan? Okay. MashaAllah. I realize that our audio is too low. I got to kick that back up. Actually, what I was doing today, guys, I was actually recording something for Indonesia. They've had some very serious problems over there, and we're going to be talking about that amongst other things tonight. But I wanted to be sure I got all of that out of the way. I'm using the same computer setup for that I'm using for this right now. So that's one of my excuses, if it works, you know. Oh, there's mashallah. Well, Dr. Sultan, I see you're smiling and laughing. Okay, well, we got a bunch of stuff. I don't know if you're going to be ready for all of this, but yeah. You see, what happened is that somebody sent me a link, and I clicked it, of course, and I found that there was somebody looked like an official somewhere, and a guy talking from a standpoint, it looks like he got a real nice setup to everything. But they were saying that this is a well-renowned doctor, and he's saying don't get the vaccines. And I said, oh my God, this is not what we need now. We're working so hard. But they were saying that he was telling everybody that this vaccine, they know it doesn't work right, and it causes blood clots. And but maybe there is one that does do that, but I'm not sure what it is. If you could get you guys to weigh in on this thing, I think that would be great. Who would like to start?
Go ahead, Dr. Sultan.
Okay, all right. Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam.
You see, everything we have to pros and cons. There is nothing which is absolutely non-toxic. Even too much water can be toxic to you, you see. So basically, yes, Johnson and Johnson vaccine that was associated with some clots and some complications. But the other one, Moderna and Pfizer, those have been very good vaccines. Of course, I mean, any vaccine has any side effects. For example, in my experience in the younger years as a pediatrician, I saw, kids would get seizures from vaccines, and but that was occasionally that would happen, or some adverse reactions. There's one patient of mine who just reported an allergic reaction to Pfizer vaccine, but she survived. I mean, she's 19 years old and survived. Not, I mean, survived. I mean, is that it wasn't anything. Felt weak and shaky and shivering for half an hour, and she was all right. But you can see that those people who have the vaccine, number one, very few of them are getting hospitalized. All those things who are getting serious infection right now are among those who did not get vaccinated. And they are the super spreader because of whatever the belief they have. They are not willing to take the vaccine. And I have to talk to anybody who has any doubts about the vaccine, and I will try to understand their point of view, and then just gently explain to them that the benefits are more than the harm. So putting all these things together, and not only that hospitalization among vaccinated people is less, but the severity is less, complications are much less. This is yes, we understand this was a quickly produced vaccine, but under those circumstances, we didn't have the time to test for years and years and years, and come to the conclusion of the pros and cons. So this is the best we have. Take it or leave it. You see, if you take it, I think mostly it's beneficial for you. If you leave it, then you are not only risking yourself, but risking other people also. That's the way I took the vaccine. And people ask me, yes, I took the vaccine. People ask me, I said I took the vaccine twice. Okay, all right. So what else I can say that in my own field of allergy, where we have so much concern about allergic reactions, I'm quite satisfied with that. This is a pretty safe vaccine, and we should all encourage people to take vaccine. That's the bottom line.
All right. Thank you very much, Doctor, for that. I would like to ask Dr. Adil if he could give us some kind of another input on that, if you don't mind.
Sure. Thank you so much. Well, I'm going to add to what Dr. Sultan said. The recent statistics that showed more than 95% of people hospitalized and had complications in ICU and death, they were all unvaccinated. That's the data are very strong on that. Now, because of hesitancy in taking the initial vaccination, that allowed time for new variants of COVID-19 to be formed. Now we're dealing with a very dangerous, very aggressive form of COVID, the Delta variant that is spreading. And we know, for instance, in Florida, it's the hottest place now in the nation in terms of cases. New cases and infectivity is on the rise, and hospitalization. And we know the cycle already. Once you go into the hospital, then the ICU, then intubation, mechanical ventilation, putting on the breathing machine, and a lot of people don't make it. So here we go again for the fourth or fifth round. And yes, the people who are vaccinated have viral shedding. if you would, similar, or if you would, in one study to those who have been unvaccinated. But overall, outcome for those who are vaccinated is much, much better in terms of even if they get it and they get COVID after vaccination, full vaccination, it's a mild symptoms. It's not life-threatening. It doesn't require hospitalization or putting on a breathing machine. And we have to take things in perspective. So it's not just the vaccination, but it is the vaccination in combination with the mask and social distancing, the hand hygiene, everything we've been talking now for almost a year and a half, that will impact the transmission of the virus and the spread of the virus, and then how would you build your immune system? So no matter what the new bug is going to be, whatever variant that's going to be out there, there's going to be a strong immune system that's going to be able to combat and resist the infection. But you take all the precautions and you do the right thing, and then you advocate it. I know recently there's been a $100 incentive for people to take the vaccine, and I saw it on the news that a lot of people said, the guy bluntly said, "Are you here? You weren't taking it before, so why are you here for?" Well, I'm here for the $100. Hey, so they are getting gift cards, $100 for and as an incentive to help people to do that. I believe more education and more outreach will be the kind way to let people really, have some sort of firewall to prevent them from this devastation again and again and again.
Well, one of the things that I'm concerned about is the professionalism of the way they presented this, and it really looked like that it was the ultimate authority on everything for all things related to vaccines. And what he was stressing, the doctor was stressing that emphatically that this, the virus, the vaccine for the virus is causing blood clots. And he said like 70% of the time it's going to be a disaster, and 70% of the time the children will get it and die. And it was scary the way he was talking about it.
The high incidence of blood clots was reported in the J&J vaccine, like Dr. Sultan said. But also AstraZeneca was reported cases of related, complications, as well as infection of different nervous system, causing neurological, like stroke-like symptoms. So the whole idea, I should be aware of it, because people are reporting it. They're not making this up. They are reporting it, and then it's a cause of concern that actually caused this particular vaccine to be stopped, not just in the U.S. but also in Europe. So evidence-based data, and what the data is showing, then we have to follow the evidence from science, and then from whatever data that we are collecting from patients' symptoms, side effects, and it's all well documented and all well witnessed in a credible places that actually record this data vigorously. So you know that this data is correct and trustworthy, and they're not manipulated to favor one version or the other to push commercial aspects of it. We want to do what is safe and effective that for everybody. But it seems the technology involved in the Moderna and Pfizer is superior. The mRNA, that's different from the other J&J and AstraZeneca vaccine. So that seemed to be a little bit superior in the efficacy, and also better in the safety profile thus far. And this is the data that's been reported. This data that's been cited in the literature, and it's been consistent throughout.
Okay, but Doctor, I don't know if you got the evidence. The presentation that they were making. They didn't show any evidence, but what they were saying is, the doctor was saying, 70% of the people that get the shot are going to get the blood clots.
This sounds like awfully very high number. I know there was, as far as I recall, the article is 100 cases reported with the documented blood clots, but that have prompted concern, and the concern caused a pause. But I believe when you look at the data and you look at something that's credible, that's published by a credible authority, then this is the data. Because definitely misinformation is causing a lot of chaos, a lot of panic, a lot of confusion, and people don't know which way to go, which way to believe, and so on. So the best thing for everybody is to go with the evidence and to go with people who you trust and feel comfortable with, that they care about you, that they have a steady, stable profile way before the COVID, that they know they're truthful, like Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and everybody knows what is Sadiqul Amin. They're truthful and honest. So when he came with the message of Islam, everybody believed him instantly because he had that credibility under his belt. So this is where people, like, don't go to it like someone if you really need to find out. And then, everything's available online, but we have to sort out the real deal from the background noise and the confusion related, stuff that's out there, and just bring it to the consumer, to the patient, to the people with the truth. And that's really the ultimate, way of convincing anyone, telling the truth, the way it is, based on evidence and data.
Yeah, you see. Something very important and very critical when these statements, you can make any statement you want, okay? But the most critical question of honesty and integrity is the critical question being asked, how do you know that you're right? The guy says 70% clotting. Show me, how do you know that you're right? He cannot show that 70% people are, because I don't know 70 people who got vaccine got clot. As a matter of fact, I know hundreds of patients who got vaccine. Personally, know my patient, all this stuff. Nobody has gotten any clotting. So you can very well see for just an immediate thing like this that these are just bizarre and just off the cuff statements. And just because somebody is in power of authority and gives you that this is what it is, hey, you do not need to take it. And another very critical thing, what Dr. Adil was saying, I'm going to put it a little in different perspective. You see, this is good. Discussions are good. Ideas are the most important thing in life, okay? Nothing can happen without idea. And then there are good ideas and there are weird ideas. You see, what differentiates a man from a pig is the ability to discern between good and bad idea. Otherwise, pig has the same organs like human being has. You see, so this is what we need to use our faculties, no matter what opinion and what is presented to us. We have to look at objectively and decide for ourselves what is true and what is not true. And this is where Allah Ta'ala's the faculties that He has given to us is to differentiate between right and wrong, and honest and dishonest, and what is right, what is not right. So,
the quoted article on May 12, 2021 on CDC finds more blood clot cases after J&J vaccination. The CDC identified 28 cases of serious blood clots and 3 deaths among those 8.7 million who received it. This is collective.
Whoa. Hold on, doctor. Yeah, say those numbers again. Out of how many? How many? Say that number again. It didn't sound like 70%.
This is straight from the CDC, and the date on that is May 12, 2021. So among the 28 cases of blood clots among 8.7 million people in the United States who received Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So this is up to that date.
Oh, okay.
This is
Now,
what's been
oh, so
reported.
wait a minute. Hold on. So there's a difference between the vaccines. It's not exactly the same thing, is it?
No, this is specifically about J&J vaccination, Johnson and Johnson vaccination.
Okay. So wait a minute. So the Astro something you were talking about. What is that called?
I will give you the data on that. I was just looking into this one.
But they're not all the same.
No, they're not. No, they're not. So anyway, the bottom line is there's data, and this is the data. That's the whole idea is go and follow the solid data. Where the solid data source is CDC. And that's the whole point that we're trying to get the message across. So nobody go into panic, nobody go into kind of like what to do and all that. Just to go and find out what's out there, and there's the latest news from the AstraZeneca said no increased risk of blood clotting after the second AstraZeneca shot. This is the second kind of study that reported it, but I'll have to go. This was AstraZeneca.
The thing that I'm really trying to focus on here is the idea that somebody is saying 70% of everybody who gets the vaccine is going to develop these blood clots. And what you said was how many people out of how many people? Say that number again.
The J&J was 28.
28 people, not 28 million. 28 people.
People out of 8.3 million people who got the vaccine.
8.3 million people got the vaccine. 28 of those showed blood clots. Did they die from it?
3 deaths. That's what the article said. 3 deaths.
3 people died out of 8.3 million.
Yes, yes, that is correct.
No, that does not sound like even 0.7%. That sounds like 0.0000001 or something like that. That does not. That's crazy.
The whole point of this exercise and all these data that we're sharing, this is stuff that have been reported by the CDC. So that's why it's good to go to reliable sources for data and forget about who's making numbers up that is not backed up with either evidence, science, or actual numbers that verify the this is true and real, rather than just to kind of make this up. It's very important related to integrity, and specifically if somebody is kind of making this up without evidence. So that's very, very important.
All right. Now I've got. I'm kind of still on this subject, but they're talking about that you should not give it to the children because they're definitely going to get the virus if you give them this the vaccine. And they didn't mention company names. They just said vaccine. Now, nobody that I know that has talked to me or has ever called in has even talked about blood clots, but most of the people that I'm talking to have either gotten the Johnson & Johnson, which you said they had 28 people that got a blood clot, and 3 of the people out of 8.3, that's 8,300,000 did die. So
that's
confused.
The reported data.
Yeah, and that's the real numbers. Okay, so I'm confused why they're saying just general any vaccine is going to be 70% that you're going to get the blood clots, you're going to die, and the children are going to die, and it was a real hype on kind of a little video that's being shared all over the place.
Well, and there's obviously concern about now the vials that's been, out there. They're going to get expired, and they're not going to be good for use, and so on. So there's a lot of implications. Obviously, again, the vaccination for children, the data on that is not clear yet, because there's not have been a big number of children been vaccinated, but there is some expert opinion whether the kids who have the problem with immune deficiency, for whatever reason, kids who have cancer, kids who have HIV, kids who have any immune depressive disease that's causing them to be at increased risk, they may be benefiting from this early immunization. But the data on a larger scale, they're not out yet.
Well, can we talk about the brands again? Because most of the people that I know have either had Moderna or they had what's the Pfizer.
Pfizer.
The Pfizer, yes. I heard you guys talking about it, that the Pfizer was developed by Muslims. And it turns out, according to everything that I hear or see, that this is like the very best of the whole idea for the vaccine. Is that right?
The Turkish couple who are in Germany, they have a company called BioNTech, and they are the people who have the patent that developed this awesome vaccine. And then Pfizer purchased, they're going to acquire their company for $1.3 billion, and now obviously now it's more valuable than that, and now it's being marketed under Pfizer. But the number I have in Britain and in Canada, to answer your question about AstraZeneca, out of 23 million doses, there was 240 cases of rare blood clotting reported. So I just wanted I wanted to answer that question. I looked it up, and it just came out 240 cases of clotting reported cases among 23 million shots.
But this is not Pfizer. This is AstraZeneca.
Yes, and the data is in Britain and Canada that's mentioned in that article.
Okay, so in other words, what we're seeing now is that people are saying things that are not true, basically.
Not true, absolutely.
I think there would be like a lot of, but they said there's a lot of cover up. How in the world, if you have 8.3 million people and 70% of those, okay, 7 to 8, over 5 million people are going to die and nobody knows about this? I would be surprised that, I don't know where these people get these numbers.
There's a very high, I'm not saying competition, that's between different companies and sales and the stocks on Wall Street and all that. When these companies, the stocks go up and down based on what's happening. I believe the truth always comes out, and if we stick with the truth and share it with people, is the way it is, with no covering up. Even with the Pfizer vaccine has, and the Moderna has a rare incidence of something called myocarditis. Myocarditis is inflammation of the heart muscle that is found on the MRI, and those are some of the cases that's reported. So nothing is perfect, is not fatal or anything, but everybody has to report the findings, and this is one of the findings that is being watched and kind of documented among those as the side effect of the vaccine, because it's not 100%. Nothing is 100%. I hope that message is clear to everybody. And even with the people who got the vaccination, they can get the infection, but it won't be as severe. It won't be as lethal if they weren't, had it. But the lifelong strategy for prevention and protection will be all the things we've been talking about: the social distancing, the hygiene, the nutrition, and stay away from toxins and bad things that will depress the immune system. Improve your immune system with black seed and ginger and honey and all that. That is the only way that anybody can make it through all this, bugs and new variants and Delta and so on and so forth. That is the only way.
All
You
right.
see, another point adding to in here is, okay, fine, we should be open-minded and we should be openly talking about, even if there is a minor risk of any complications, so on and so forth. So if we want to go on that fair deal, then I'm sorry to report that 250,000 people each year die from proper use of medication, because most of our medical treatment is symptomatic treatment. And when I say 250,000 people die, what I'm saying is millions of them are injured or have side effects which are although reported but don't get the press attention, because there's no money to be made by advertising the deaths and the disabilities and other serious side effects associated with drugs. When it comes to vaccine, which is so powerful, so effective, which is turning the wave the other way, it becomes a target of misinformation, which just doesn't make sense to me. You see, just a matter of to me, it looks like a attempt to draw attention to somebody's point of view. You see, otherwise, my question is, okay, the data, 70% data presented, even if 10% data presented, show me that how do you say that you're right? And look at the statement. 70% will develop. How the hell you know that 70% would develop? There's no evidence. Whatever little we have, based on that, you cannot predict the future that the 70% of people are going to have the problem. So basically, from my perspective, these are unscientific statements. The only reason we are mentioning in here is so that we can bring the truth to the table and people get the right information.
Yeah.
That's our
We're
goal.
going to have to take a break right now, but we'll come back and we'll pick up on another aspect of this same topic. And folks, if you'd like to call in, we're going to put the phone number up on the screen so that you'll be able to call it and be ready to call us at 1-800-971.
4383.
He's saying that something wrong with the audio. Oh, he's going to go do his prayers. All right. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, stay tuned and stay guided with Guide Us TV. We'll be right back. Yeah. We'll be right back right after this. Guide Us TV, watched by many, loved by all, new Muslims, young Muslims, born Muslims, non-Muslims, all enjoy it. Guide Us TV, never ads, always free. Let's keep it free, no ads. Support and share, and get guided with Guide Us TV. This is Yusuf Estes, and I'm looking for something. Actually, I'm looking for someone. Is that someone you? I want Dawah partners, and you can be my Dawah partner right now. It's real easy. Just go to dawahpartners.com, sign up, and join me. There are 3 things that I would like for you to be able to do. Any one of them or all of them. Beautiful. Number 1, you will make dua. So you can be our Dawah partner, even if you don't go to the website, but I hope you do. Number 2, share. Share this message and let other people know about becoming Dawah partners. And number 3, help us financially. Donate. on a monthly basis, even if it's small. Allah loves the thing that you do regularly, even if it's small, more than the thing that you do that's really big, but you only do it once. Join me as a Dawah partner. Do it now. Click, 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 click. And we are back. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. What I would like to do now is to pick up where we left off, kind of, but in another vein. When somebody is taking these vaccines and they feel a little bit sick, doctor, now, should they panic over that, or is that something that's normal for a virus vaccine? I'd like to.
Actually, I'm so glad you mentioned that. You expect some minor, symptoms. You feel sore. I took the first shot and it felt sore a little bit for 24 hours. Obviously, low-grade temperature is okay. Little muscle aches and pains and generalized weakness, just for maybe 24 hours or so, and then most of these symptoms go away. It means as you are building an immune response. If somebody, God forbid, started to have, we discussed before, some of the serious, side effects, they have weakness. We see the Guillain-Barré, which is like ascending paralysis. That could be a serious side effect. Somebody, it will simulate stroke. Somebody could, have irritability in their heart with arrhythmia that's sustained. That is a problem. Somebody could have a blood clot either in the lung or the heart or the brain. These could be obviously serious issues, but that's rare. Talking about the general, cases, most of them are minor. But if things sustain, then there should be report. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm thinking about is that when we're talking about this, now you did clear up that there are different kinds of vaccines out there, and not all of them work the same way. So J&J, you said Johnson & Johnson's product was taken off the market for a bit. I don't even know if it's back on the market, but you mentioned AstraZeneca,
which is in Britain. Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, that's not even here in the United States.
It's in Europe. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Why would somebody here in the United States make a video about something somewhere else and not tell us that that's not even here in the U.S.?
Because everything is global, with the pharmaceutical, it's a global market. So everything's gone global, and everybody's trying to take a part of the global market, piece of the pie, and there's competition. So that's basically the short answer to that. And everybody's trying to say, well, show me your data. Show me your efficacy, show me if it works better or not, and then the pricing and so on. So it's very important for people before it's like purchasing or making a contract with anybody. Hey, show me this stuff. So it's the Johnson & Johnson vaccine delivered DNA to your cells to make spike protein in the body. And it's called adenovirus. And that will be the delivery vehicle. They're carrying the coronavirus genetic material, the DNA, and that will mount to the response. So it's like the DNA is a part of the virus going in the body. But the mRNA, which is used as the innovative technology in the Pfizer Moderna version vaccines, that is genetically modified, and it is not. It does not have active virus like the Johnson & Johnson, way of delivery. It delivered through a DNA, from through a spike protein that goes into the cell. So it's a different mechanism of delivery, but it seems like the mRNA is much safer and less likely to develop the blood clots and the serious adverse effects.
Okay, now I want to get a clarification from you about this. You're saying that different brands of the vaccine are being distributed out here, but when it's free, you have to take whatever you get. So some of the places they've got the Johnson & Johnson, some places got the AstraZeneca, and some places got the Pfizer, and some got the Moderna. Are there any others out there that?
No, AstraZeneca is not in the U.S. It's only the Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson. Those are the only 3 choices in the U.S.
And right now, the Johnson & Johnson's on hold, right?
It was last time, but it was reported. I don't know if it's back on or not. And if it is, I think it's being just watched closely to see the side effects and so on, and being reported to the CDC.
Okay. All right. Now, the next part of the question, and this is really critical, they're saying that the government is getting crazy out here by making it mandatory for the kids, if they go to school, that they have to get the shots, and these shots are going to kill the kids. 70%. Again, he used 70%. What do you say about
this?
That?
This is erroneous. This is erroneous data. Now the discussion is about having the kids wear the mask. I know that for a fact. And then the kids who have serious immune deficiency, problem, those will be a potential candidate to be benefiting from possible, immunization. But again, the only 2 choices that will be for them will be either the Moderna or the Pfizer. That is so far what's been out there as far as tested and what's been discussed on daily.
But did you hear that the government is forcing the kids to get shots, or no?
No. I know now is either get vaccinated, or some of the private companies, or get fired. Get the vaccine, or take the shot, or take a hike. That's the new thing that a lot of people now are following.
But not the schools. The thing that I'm worried about is the children.
Not the schools, because each school had to make their own decision, based on the locality, based on a lot of things. I'm trying to get the politics out of this. I'm just trying to stay absolutely clear into the medical, scientific data that will help people, will help protect children, keep everybody safe, and keep everybody, protected from the, coronavirus and all its variants.
So, can I understand from what our conversation is tonight that there may be some political or business sense behind what these people are doing? Because really, when I saw this, I was blown away. I said, how come that our doctors wouldn't even know about this? As 70%, and they use this number, 70% of this and 70% of that, and the numbers that you're saying are 0.0000 maybe 7, but
I'm not saying. I'm reporting what's in the literature already, that shared from the CDC. And just also tonight, maybe those beneficial for the audience, the listeners, and those who are watching. 2 different mechanisms for the vaccines. The mRNA vaccine, that's Moderna and Pfizer, seems to be much more safer and effective. The other adenovirus vaccines, those are the technology that's used for Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca. So now there seems to be a shift from what it used to be, the old adenovirus vaccines. I'm talking about the J&J and AstraZeneca that was developed first in the 70s to the now, and it used for Ebola and HIV and so on and so forth. But now the the COVID hits, and then mRNA came vaccine, and we're all in depth, the world in depth to the Turkish scientists, the couple, the husband and wife that actually developed the vaccine. May God bless them and reward them for all the hard work that's saving, millions of people around the globe because of this new technology. And they were actually planned to use it for cancers and heart failure disease and so on after the success that they had with the coronavirus.
You know what? Well, we were Doctor, while we were talking, I was pushing a bunch of buttons here, and I hope everybody heard everything you said, but I found this, and I'd like to show it to the folks at home and let them understand a little bit about this. Is some facts that are being released by the companies or about the companies. Here it is. It says the company name, University of Oxford, AstraZeneca, doses with 100 million were ordered, cost per dose. It's in pounds, so obviously this is in England. It's in pounds. It says 3 pounds per dose. And how effective was the AstraZeneca? Anywhere from 62 to 90%. And it has to be stored in a fridge, it says. Now the Pfizer, it says that they ordered 40 million at a cost of 15 pounds, and they were 95% effective, and the storage must be at minus 70 degrees Celsius. And that's BioNTech, like you said, exactly what you were saying, the Muslim company that was bought out by Pfizer. It still says 95% right on it. And then Moderna is 17 million that they ordered at a cost of 28 pounds per dose, and it was 92% effective, and it has to be stored at minus 20 degrees Celsius. Then Novavax, I don't know what's Novavax, I didn't even hear about that one. 60 million, they ordered vaccines, 60 million, at a cost of 12 pounds per dose, and it was 86 to 89% effective, and it's a regular refrigerator. And then Johnson & Johnson, it says 7 pounds. Okay, here's the 7. It's not about 70%, it's about 7 pounds, because that's like that's the cheapest except for AstraZeneca. The AstraZeneca and the Johnson, okay, all right. So the ones that have, and it says 66%, and the one on the AstraZeneca said 62 to 90%. So yeah, I'm starting to, the daylight is starting to come through on this old man. I'm seeing that the one that is the most preferred should be the one that's only 15 pounds. That's not too much to ask for that additional 30% in some cases, and at least 20% in another case. So yeah, I think that Pfizer is the one to go with if you can get it. That's what we had, and I had absolutely, and I'm an old man, and I had no problem whatever. And my wife got it, both shots, same as me, and she hurt a little bit. My son got it as well, but I think he got the Moderna, I think.
I got Moderna, and I did fine.
Tell us about a little bit about it. How, did it?
Yeah, I got Moderna because the facility that I took it and took the 2 shots, it was easier for them to store it at minus 20 rather than the Pfizer at minus 70. I know that slide is like a year old, that was very popular slide to just to tell people the comparison between the different brands and different types and how they work and so on. But I think we're kind of late in the game now. Everybody knows the types and how they work and the mechanism and so on. And I hope people can start calling in and remaining a few minutes that we have to benefit from that. And if anybody have any questions regarding vaccine or how it works or anything at all related to COVID, please. I know there's tons of questions out there. 1-800-971-4383. 1-800-971-4383. And we're standing by, Dr. Sultan, Sheikh, and myself, to help answer the questions based on the evidence, not on the hype or some made up stuff. And that will be the stuff that will get you solid data to help you plan, your decision and keep you safe.
Another information here. It says 2021 on this one. It says something called Sinovac, and it's 6 million. A total of 67 million doses, existing agreements, 6 million of the Sinovac, 61 million of the AstraZeneca, and then further procurement, 33 million doses, 25 million Pfizer and the Johnson & Johnson combined, okay, and then 8 million of the Sinovac. This is June. This is just a couple months back. This is just starting in August, so it's really a month and a half or so. And it's saying almost a total of 7 million. That's 6.96 million if you want to go to the exact number. It's still almost 7 million. It says in the first 2 weeks, then it shows the doses that they put them out. And it looks to me like that this whole thing could be boiled down to just a very simple thing: politics and money. Politics and money. So if somebody wants to show a bad image of a politician, they make up stories about him. And then they get other people to help them. And then they get paid off, I guess, by the politicians that are against that guy. And so here you got somebody else coming out. But whenever they're saying don't get the vaccine at all, I don't understand. There's no benefit in that, is it? Or is there?
There's a moral.
Dr. Sultan, can you clarify something for us on this? How could somebody just say, "Oh, I'm a doctor, don't get the vaccine"? I don't understand that.
Well, the answer that's very simple. If two people are the same opinion, one is unnecessary. So basically, what we are saying in here is in echoing with what the general medical consensus is. So if people listen to us, it is not a big news. But if I just declare right now that the vaccine, COVID vaccine, is the most dangerous one, and I'm going to tell you why it is more dangerous one, and just come up with the fiction, like a lot of political fictions are going on, in our neck of the wood. You see, there will certainly is a certain amount of audience who will listen to me. You see, so this is same thing. I'm sorry to say, happened on the religious arena too. That two people of authority come with difference of opinion because they just, if they have the same opinion, no one is going to listen to them. You see, so that's how they establish their authority, because they have some following, because they have some out of unbelievable story that there are going to be some people who are going to be listening to that story.
But our job hear the people of faith and Muslim and follow what Allah said in the Quran. وَأَقِيمُوا الشَّهَادَةَ لِلَّهِ. Establish a testimony purely for the sake of God, regardless of money or any other links to that. Just the truth. Here it is, and here's what the data shows, and here's what we believe based on the evidence that's out there. The best thing to do.
All right, we do have a phone call. We almost time to roll out, but we'll take this call. Salam alaikum.
Alaikum assalam. How are you?
Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This sounds like Habib.
Yes, it is. It was just a comment that I had because I have an allergic reaction to the dye for the CAT scan. And the Moderna apparently has that in the vaccine. So I wasn't able to take the Moderna, but I did take the Pfizer. And like I told you, the second time I had it, like the second dose, I had no problems with it whatsoever. So I'm just wondering why you get these people that they're pretending to be experts and telling, basically scare tactics to stop people from taking the vaccine. Because I think that's something that's totally dangerous.
I know that Twitter, I'm going to go back to the former president. I remember when Twitter blocked his account because they said he was posting up stuff out there that would cause a problem. I'm wondering, why did the YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter allow these guys to continue? And they've given us trouble many times. We have some of the things that we paid somebody to recite Quran for, or do a nasheed. It was a particular nasheed. And when we played it on our TV channel, they blocked our account on the Facebook. And then another time we had something similar, and they blocked us over on YouTube. And my gosh,
I know, because I had posted something for us, right? And I knew exactly what it was. And anything that I use, I always make sure that it has the logo for Guidus TV. So, and I don't know why that they're deciding to do this type of thing.
Well, why don't they? But my question.
The truth.
Yeah, but my question is about these guys making up this crazy stuff. And we have 2 doctors that are volunteering their time for 2 nights a week, going out of their way to help us with this. And then occasionally we have other doctors that come in as well. All of them are known to us very well. We know them personally, and they're not crazy. And they're all saying the same thing, that from day one, how could anybody even think about pulling us off the air and taking us out of their loop? I don't know. But it looks like we got to wrap it up because they're telling us we got to go off the air. Call me back again tomorrow night, please, because you know what? Yes. Tomorrow night we're going to come pick this up where we left off, inshallah. Dr. Adil, thank you so much for being with us tonight, and we appreciate that. And also Dr. Sultan, we love you for the sake of Allah. Thank you so much. And by the way, guys, stay guided with Guidus TV.
Guidus TV. And thank you very much.
Yes.
Yusuf Estes, and I'm looking for something. Actually, I'm looking for someone. Is that someone you? I want Dawah partners, and you can be my Dawah partner right now. It's real easy. Just go to dawahpartners.com, sign up, and join me. There are 3 things that I would like for you to be able to do. Any one of them or all of them. Beautiful. Number 1, you will make dua. so you can be our Dawah partner, even if you don't go to the website, but I hope you do. Number 2, share. Share this message and let other people know about becoming Dawah partners. And number 3, help us financially. Donate on a monthly basis, even if it's small. Allah loves the thing that you do regularly, even if it's small, more than the thing that you do that's really big, but you only do it once. Join me as a Dawah partner. Do it now. Click, 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 click.